Hi there, this is H. Victoria Hargro Atkerson. I'm an author and a writer and a soon-to-be publisher, which we are putting the cap on all of that very soon. And we will be releasing part two of my book, Enslaved, part two. And I do have, next time I come, I'll bring the cover page for that so you can see what that looks like. My niece did the painting. And for most of my books, I use family members because I have an amazing array of artists in my family they are just excellent people. I don't know. We just, we're so talented and we're so smart. I just love the creativity that was inspired by my parents. Even, we were never allowed to just sit and do nothing. You always had to have something in your hand. If you were working on a project, it was okay for you to sit in front of the TV and do that. But if you had nothing in your hand, then you shouldn't really be sitting in front of the TV set, wasting time just watching a screen. Your hands had to be busy. So that's one thing that we learned to do. And consequently, I know almost everything. I know how to crochet, macrame, knit. I even know how to make lace. I learned that in one summer, and quilting. I mean, you'd name it. If it was art related, craft related, we can do it. And it's not just me. It's like all the members of my family. And I liked passing those traditions down to other generations because I think it helps to develop character and a sense of worth. Well, today we're going to continue our discussion about the discipline of writing, which I think is really critical. We always think about those types of things and what makes us do what we do. How do you do it? A lot of people say, how do you write a book? How do you find the time? Well, you have to manage your time. You have to designate your time. You have to take the time. And you do it. You do it. And that's one of the main things we have to learn. So I'm going to talk today about the space that we use, because it's a therapeutic milieu where magic happens, and that is something that cannot be matched. I always fill my space with inspirational pictures like this one, a herd of wildebeest, or this one, which I absolutely love, and another picture of the wild. And I love looking at pictures about landscape and the territory that I'm writing about. It all depends. The other thing I like to do, I surround myself with reading material that I read. Whenever I do research, I keep the books around so that I can keep that as inspiration, because you can always remember what you read and incorporate the idea, the images that you receive from these books. This is the bottom. I don't know if you can see that real good. It's the bottom of the slave ship and how people were herded onto it and how they were positioned to sit, sleep, or stand in a particular area. It was absolutely a deplorable condition. Not only that, they have all kind of varmints on there that made living on a slave ship almost impossible. I read a lot of books, memoirs from ship's captains, doctors who worked on ships, and tried to bring their images to my book that I wrote about, the enslaved person spending time on a slave ship. And I came away with my book here, Enslaved, and talking about artists. This particular image was done by my brother Louis Charles Hargro Jr. Well, he's not junior when my father died, so he's Louis Charles Hargro. He's an amazing artist, and he did this images. I just wish he would do much more African-related subjects. I just love this. It's one of my favorite covers. And I'm working on part two. My niece, Brina Hargro, is doing the cover for part two of this, and I'll bring that the next time. I'll bring that out the next time that we meet so that you can see that, because I think talent is something we can always encourage. My parents did it for us, and I think you can do it for your children, your nieces, nephews, whoever. It's something that you can always inspire in another person, even in yourself. Sit down and just draw something, work on something. I mean, It's just an undeveloped skill, and as far as most of us are concerned. But we're talking about the therapeutic place where this writing takes place. So I would say carve out the space you need. Make sure that what's in, not only your writing materials are there, but just pictures and images of things that's going to flood your imagination and inspire you to write crystal clear images about your subject matter, whatever it is. It's such an important part of writing, and make sure that you take advantage of that writing space. It's amazing when you use that space in every possible way. You don't just think it's just a place to sit and write. It's a place to be inspired. It's a place where your imagination is going to take over, and it's going to dominate you for a few amazing moments. And when you have that, it's invaluable to your writing, and you can see it, you can feel it, and sometimes you can even smell the atmosphere. Just like when we're looking at the picture of the wildebeest, you can almost hear them thundering through the lands and the prairies or whatever it is out there. I've never been to Africa, but I've been there in my imagination millions of times. I read. I love watching videos and documentaries, so I bring myself there. My imagination is what created this book, because the first part of it takes place in Africa at a time that happened long before I was on the planet, or before even my mother and my grandmother were here. But anyway, it's a great book, and part two is going to be just as good. So pay attention to where you write, and remember, there are no rules. No one can tell you where you can write. No one can make those decisions for you, because where is it appropriate for anyone to write? Anywhere. Anywhere at all. Anywhere you choose. Anywhere you feel comfortable. Do that. Keep your pen and paper handy. If not, your laptop, whatever you want to use, and go to work. Complete the project. Do the deed. Finish it. Okay? I want to ask you to do me a favor. There's a red button at the bottom of this page. If you would push that and subscribe to my shows, I would love it. I would love to have you as a member of our family, and embrace writing with all your heart and soul. And guess what? You'll come out with something absolutely golden and amazing. Even you are going to be impressed with yourself. I mean, and keep telling yourself, I'm a writer. I'm a writer. I am a writer. You'll get there in no time at all, okay? It's still COVID-19 time, and we are in the mix of it. So I ask you all to please take care of yourself. Watch your food intake. Stay away from dairy products, meats if possible. There has been many factories and handle meat that has been infected, and there's no telling what else is going on there. So just be cautious and take care of your families, and make sure you ingest as much vitamin C as possible. Fruits and vegetables is the key, because we are earth people. We come from the earth. So that's what's going to make us strong. So do that, and embrace your family, hug them, and use this time to meditate, exercise, do things that are going to make you strong and wonderful human beings, and let us as a people grow closer together, create ways in which we can move to the next step in our evolution in this country. I mean, we need to develop more businesses. We need to keep our children mindful of what they are about. We need to tell them who they are. They are these wonderful people that are descendants of greatness, and we have to do this. It's just an amazing journey that we're on, and this is a great time to sit down, even families, sit down and see if you can develop a business that you can hand down from generation to generation. It's a wonderful time for us. So don't just think about the limits and you not being able to get outside. You can get outside. It's just you have to restrict who you're with and the number of people you associate with. Wear masks and gloves if you must, if you will. Do whatever you can do to protect yourselves and your family. But most of all, love yourself, love your family. Stay safe. Stay safe. I love you. Take care, and God bless.